All right, let's get these weirdos out of the boxes and have a close look. Hello, friends, visitors, and Skele Vaderites. I am very excited to share with you all some things that I picked up at Target recently. These items were a complete surprise. I was not expecting to see any of these on the shelves. The shelves have been a little bit empty as of late. But I think a few days ago there was a refresh. I didn't see a lot of stuff show up, but I did see these three things on the shelves and I got real excited. These figures are amazing. Lately, I've been very careful about spending full price on items. However, seeing these things on the shelves gave me a lot of joy in the moment that I saw them. I've been feeling, I don't know about you, but I've been feeling a little bit overwhelmed lately. There's a lot of stuff going on in our country, and there's a lot of negativity and a lot of events that have left me feeling unsettled, and a lot of issues that I feel right now are unresolved. And navigating these things with my family and navigating these things with my coworkers. And I work with college students, so noticing them feeling strong feelings has a tendency to get me down. I'm a pretty sensitive person, so the feelings of those around me have a tendency to affect me pretty intensely. With that being said, and I know I say this a lot on this channel, so much so that I probably sound like a broken record. I did find 3 items on this trip to Target that made me pretty darn joyful. I definitely needed a little bit of an uplift on that particular day. But with that being said, I'm really excited to share these items with you all. First thing I'm gonna do is just show you their packaging, and then we'll cut to these figures being out of their packaging just so we can look at how cool they are. So, first thing I'm going to show you is the sketchbook series SPIKOR. Now, I pre-ordered this from Target and then I canceled my pre-order. This is just sort of my system. I order something, I watch a review on YouTube, and I think, maybe it's something I didn't necessarily need, but then I saw it in person and my feelings changed. I'm a huge fan of SPIKOR. This, my friends, is a beautiful rendition of how SPIKOR looked in the original concept art. I'm very excited to have a close look at him. Now these other 2 figures, they're both from the same film. Now I'm a huge fan of comic book movies. I usually get really excited. I often get disappointed, but there are some movies that really stick out in my brain as being particularly special. And one of my favorites is a sequel to one of my top favorites, and the sequel being Batman Returns, directed by Tim Burton. That particular movie had a huge impact on me. I was in high school and I was discovering post-punk, and so the Susie and the Banshees song that was part of the soundtrack was so great. Something says I must resist. And it was such an anthem for the summer following the release of that film. So I happened upon the Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman from Batman Returns, and this is a McFarlane Deluxe Theatrical Edition from the DC Multiverse. Look at that. That's that iconic poster. I'm very excited to get her out of the package. And then the other iconic villain from this movie, Danny DeVito's Penguin. Oh, when I saw these 2 figures on the shelf and I walked down a little bit further and I saw SPIKOR, I genuinely felt super excited about these new items.
To destroy Batman, we must first turn him into what he hates the most, namely us.
All right, let's get these weirdos out of the boxes and have a close look.
Let's take a relaxing break and leave cyber stress behind.
All right, so I have all these figures out of their packages, and I'm really excited to go through all of them with you. The first thing I want to say is that when I was opening these up, I was trying to sort of navigate my emotions and my feelings as to why these particular figures are so relevant to me. Why would I pick these figures out rather than perhaps spending that money on something vintage from eBay? Because my budget every month is very limited. Why would I not get a vintage item that I've been coveting? And why would I, in the moment, feel the urgency to get these figures instead? And I'll tell you why. SPIKOR is one of my favorite characters from the Masters of the Universe line. So the sketchbook series, these figures have a tendency to really grab me. Now I'm not gonna get everything, I'm not gonna get all these figures, but when one of my favorite characters comes along, and it's not just a repeat of what we had before, like this amazing vintage SPIKOR, and it's exploring another version of this character that went through interesting stages of development, then of course it's super exciting to see a version of this in physical form.
Take this! I don't need a parachute! That's what you think!
And he is honestly adorable. This is an amazing figure. All of these wonderful spikes, this removable tail. Now I do have a little bit of a minor critique regarding the tail. There's a hole there where we plug the tail into. And if I were sculpting this action figure, I think I would try to figure out a way to allow for a less obvious division between where the tail starts and his hindquarters end. There's no shape that can match the shape of his backside. It's just a flat piece that's resting on his hairy shorts. That's a little awkward and weird. That aside, this is a very, very cool figure. I absolutely love this face. He's got these gigantic earrings. I love the snout. I love the intensity of the eyes, these porcupine kind of spikes instead of the round-headed COVID-19 spiky satellite head. And then of course this amazing tail. The tail is not articulated in that there's no like bendy part of this. He comes with his traditional SPIKOR trident. This is translucent red, which is very, very cool and reminiscent of the artwork as well. And if I put that on his hand, that's pretty neat. It would have been cool to have the same type of action feature that we have with the vintage. I said the same thing about the Origins vintage style SPIKOR. And then he also comes with this very, very cool mace, which is pretty brutal. And I don't recall seeing this mace come with any other action figures. Very, very cool. Sketchbook series SPIKOR, and honestly, he's gorgeous. I'm really happy to have him in the collection. And now to Catwoman. She was such a rebel.
It's chilly in here.
But this action figure is spectacular. I want you to see how much this face sculpt looks like Michelle Pfeiffer. The paint application, the sculpt, everything about this. It's almost like she walked right off the screen. Yeah, really happy to have this Catwoman. She is an amazing sculpt and the articulation's great. She comes with her taser. If you remember from the movie, the taser scene is very memorable. And she comes with a whip. Very, very cool. A miniature version of the poster, which is the collector card, and a stand, of course. And then we've got this amazing action figure of the Penguin. I'm a big fan of the Penguin character. I love the Penguin in the comics. I love Burgess Meredith in the 1966 television show.
How dare you mock me on the eve of my greatest triumph?
I definitely love Danny DeVito as the Penguin.
Appetite for destruction, contempt for the czars of fashion.
And really super impressed by Colin Farrell's version of the character in the movie The Batman and in the Penguin television series on HBO. This figure is amazing. Look at the detail on his face. He comes with a felt jacket with a fur collar. Very, very cool. He comes with an umbrella here, which, you know, is classic Penguin accessory. And Mark from Cambridge and Washon podcast, my friend, he has a deep appreciation for top hats, just as I do. And yes, the Penguin comes with a top hat. And that should fit on, oh, there it goes. Yeah, you just got to press it on a little bit more. That looks great. This figure's amazing. Now, if we could just get a few other characters, like maybe Oswald Cobblepot's parents, that would be amazing. Those of you who are fans of Pee Wee Herman, you know that Paul Reubens played Oswald Cobblepot's dad in the beginning scenes of Batman Returns. I love Pee Wee. I love Paul Reubens, so that would be a cool action figure to have. I'm a big fan of Christopher Walken, so I am certainly going to be keeping my eye out for that Christopher Walken action figure. Hopefully I'll be able to grab one of these days. I'm a big fan of the Tim Burton design of Batman, so I am keeping an eye out for that particular action figure as well, Michael Keaton Batman. These figures are amazing, and I'm reviewing them today as a vlog post because of this. I was feeling really down. I went into Target to run some errands, pick up a few things for the house, and saw these figures, and they gave me authentic joy. I found a brief reprieve from whatever emotional tumult I was dealing with, and they helped. It genuinely helped. And now I'm re-experiencing that joy by opening these up and making a video to share with you all. And that's pretty darn cool. I mean, these figures will stay in my collection for as long as they stay in my collection. I admire them. I love looking at them. It makes me want to re-watch Batman Returns. We're actually entering the season for Batman Returns. You can watch Batman Returns starting from Halloween all the way through the Christmas and holiday season. It just has all that energy. So I'm excited to rewatch that movie. I'm excited to take a few photos of my SPIKORs hanging out next to one another. And the last thing I want to say is I appreciate every single one of you for tuning into these videos. It means the world to me. For those of you that are watching this early because you are Skele Vaderites, because you contribute as Patreons of this channel, I really appreciate you. You helped me get these figures, and that's amazing. Thank you so much for actively contributing to the content of this channel. And for those of you that are just tuning in and you're new to this channel, welcome to it. Do make sure to click like and subscribe. And for those of you that like to spread the word about things like this, tell your friends about the Skele Vader channel. And if you're interested in becoming a Patreon, the link is right down below. And if you're just here to have a good time, thank you. I appreciate you. You are awesome. All right, enough of this chit chat. I'll see you in the next video.